put it together. It was Josedeodo on the Lee Sin. Even when C9 had their point of strength where they were grouped up in their death ball, they forced Team Liquid back at that Drake fight. It was Jose finding the opportunity to punish C9, just getting a little bit too comfortable, a little bit too lazy with their exit, and then making the huge play that kind of started snowballing the game.
All right, let's see if they can do it again here. Team Liquid looking to keep up the momentum, but Cloud9 want to strike back quickly. They don't want to let it get too far away from them too early, and so they are continuing to focus on bottom lane here. In addition to the Karma, also banning the Lucian here for that Lucian-Melio pairing.
And for the second game in a row, they are going to ban Akali in the first half of the draft to make sure that TL don't take it early. Worth noting, C9 have elected first pick here since they were the loser in game number 1. Team Liquid then selecting blue side. Ori and Cassio will remain banned, just like they were in game number 1, as will Varus.
Okay, so continuing to, they're probably double ban APA the entire series, which makes me think that APA is going to look to pick up the Annie pretty soon. They have an early Jarvan pickup here, so Cloud9 they're kind of assuming that Team Liquid will get some low mobility carries. First picking the Jarvan, I mean, usually you want to pick it into carries that are not going to have dashes and be too mobile, but they're first picking it so that they can hopefully get like a Jarvan Rumble combination going for themselves. And if they see the Caitlyn and Bard here, maybe they do throw down the Rumble early on here to complement Blaber's Jarvan.
And remember, Bard was banned in the first set of bans in game number 1, so now him going through into the second game, we'll see how much they can get done with Core's Bard. Over on the other side, not only is this Jarvan take a good starter for pretty much any composition here for C9, but remember, it was also what they chose to ban away from Jose in the second half of that draft instead of the Lee. So Lee's gone for the rest of the series now because of Fearless, and they'll also be able to deny the Jarvan with this pick of their own. So C9, if nothing else, they're playing for the long con here with the Fearless jungling, as they will lock in the Nautilus when you have some immobile enemy carries. Caitlyn's got her net. But if you drop a depth charge on her, you can catch her even from that range. So we'll see how effective Vulcan can be on the playmaker.
Yeah, they have some good dive already and things to hold people in place for Ziggs. They double ban APA with the Orianna Cassia. I mean, those are very common high priority mid lane bans, but he's going to get access to the Ziggs this time around. And that's the reason for the early Jarvan and Nautilus. Hold people in place for the big bomb.
That thing hurts if it hits in the sweet spot. And conveniently, the sweet spot is just about as big as the inside of the Cataclysm from Jarvan. So as long as they line that up, they'll be feeling great. But it is the Trundle locked in here for Team Liquid. This champion is exceptional at dueling other AD junglers who have part of their power budget committed to target access. Something like a Vi, something like a Jhin, something like, I don't know, Jarvan, because Trundle can just walk up and beat you in the 1v1. And he also makes it so scary for the tanks on the enemy team because they're not so tanky once they're subjugated.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at Nautilus probably going to die a lot this game.
He dies a lot in every game, usually.
He always does die a lot. And if you go in on Nautilus, and you hit something, you're proccing your Aftershock, and then Trundle will just take that extra stats with his ultimate, and then Nautilus is just instantly paper, and especially coming from support role, oftentimes will just get blown up. The other thing that's good about Trundle is with your W, you can dodge Jarvan EQs pretty easily. So move speed is always very, very good in jungle duels versus Jarvan. So you can try and avoid his big combo, because if you miss your EQ, and Trundle is definitely going to win the stat check after that.
Interesting. Team Liquid banning the Annie still, saying you might flex that Ziggs to the bottom lane. So we still don't want APA playing the Annie. The LeBlanc banned out by C9 is one of those old school, like, it's a solo queue type of counter to Ziggs that can make his life really miserable. It's just a lot of people aren't willing to slam the LeBlanc, but C9's read seems to be Quid is one of those people, and we don't want him taking it.
Yeah, I believe Palafox taught him that lesson a while ago.
It's a hard lesson to learn.
Hit him with the LeBlanc.
The Senna banned out here. Final ban for Team Liquid in this when they don't want that infinite scaling. Senna, those of y'all who have not been paying attention, is very strong in her current iteration of the game. So they keep their distance from that.
Yeah, a lot of people have been going like the Doran's Helm and defensive opening and scaling up, trying to scale up, collect your souls, and we'll see about this game now. Ooh, interesting. Quid thinking about the Azir angle for himself, and it does give you the multiple possibilities here. Since Trundle is not a primary engager himself, yeah, you can go for a Xerxes, but you can also use it to just help peel for Caitlyn. Okay, that's more like it.
That's more of a Quid pick.
That's a lot more Quid here. We get the Yone, a classic for Quid. These melee champions so good at carrying on them. And if you do have a Bard on your team to be able to get Bard ults and set you up, then you can hit some large Yone ultimates.
Very scary stuff, and we know Quid has played this champion plenty of times in the past. Some mid laners want to keep their distance from it, but Quid is at home, at comfort here with these powerful melee carry mid laners. Over on the other side of the C9 Cup, there's the Rumble that you were talking about all the way back when we first saw the Jarvan, the spicy hot pot combo that is very often picked together, will be picked together here again in this one. And since you're having Jarvan and Nautilus both go in, Ziggs is firing from a mile away. Rumble's got Equalizer from distance. They want their AD carry to also participate from a distance. Deadly Flourish, Curtain Call. They'll lock the Jhin for Zven, but the final pick of the draft for Team Liquid is Ornn for Morgan.
Yeah, some good engage here to put more pressure onto the Ziggs and Jhin, especially. Picking up the Ornn, it's always a fairly common tank pick to kind of answer Rumble, but really it gives you the Ornn ultimate for your team and that scaling possibility too with the ornaments for Team Liquid.
And it's also very effective against Jhin in particular. When he opens up the curtain call, you see the lines where he can fire the bullets. Just shoot the Ornn horn at him. He gets thrown up into the air. He can't aim the gun anymore. All of a sudden, that long-range threat, not the same.
Yeah, Bard also really good for that reason too against Jhin. So definitely a lot of ways for them to interrupt the ult, look for stationary targets.
Okay, so let's talk C9 game plan here first, because they're the team that's behind. They're the ones who don't want to have to be put in a spot where reverse sweep is your only answer. What kind of plays do you want to see from them early to tie this one up?
I think Blaber has a lot of opportunities here with Jarvan. You can put pressure on Quid maybe, open up some room for APA to take over with Ziggs, the classic for him.
And how about on the Team Liquid side? Is it just the Josedeodo game again? Because Trundle's got a lot less playmaking tools than Lee Sin does.
I'll be looking bottom lane for Jose. You know, if you have a Caitlyn Bard, then oftentimes teams will try and like gank for that lane, gank for the Nautilus to crack your Caitlyn Bard, and they're actually going to gank mid lane first here in the opener.
Josedeodo going to walk straight back towards the turret as Quid exits all the way through the side. He knows that there's nothing meaningful Jarvan can do to him at level 1. You just can throw a flag, get an auto attack, that's about it. So it's safe to walk towards him, maybe not safe to walk the other direction, and surely enough, it wasn't. So what could have been a spicy level 1 just kind of fades away.
So we're expecting some pretty big choices here from Blaber early on. As we mentioned, Quid Yone is also always very scary, but you do usually want to put a stop to Caitlyn Bard lanes before they really start to accrue a lot of turret plate money. And you want to try and lend some extra threat to Nautilus engages. Like if Nautilus keeps on hooking in and looks for trades and gets people low, you need to also have some jungle threat, some jungle pressure there to really make sure that they respect it. And so Vulcan and CoreJJ with their own wards and their own brush trying to hold their ground here, but not super excessive trading super early on this time around. There is a ward on the Raptors that will see Jose pathing away from the bottom lane, and that is going to tell Vulcan and Blaber that maybe there will be some opportunities for Nautilus hook-ins and Jarvan to help out with the Caitlyn Bard lane early on.
Yeah, the Jhin Nautilus doesn't quite have that same level of early game threat that the Ashe and the Seraphine had that forced CoreJJ all the way back to base in game number 1. But now APA in a little bit of danger here. Luckily dodges away from the Q3 knock-up there on Quid's Yone. Quid gets the last little bit of the trade. APA staying calm, saving the flash, using the satchel to get away to safety.
Yeah, and the reason why he's so calm there is they did have the ward on Raptors I mentioned. It sees the Trundle, it sees Jose walk over there. So APA very well knows this could be a very likely possibility that he's going to come from this angle. And so he kind of just sits it there. No summer spells, as you say, doesn't panic. And here we go. He does clean up the rest of the CS. And it'll mean that it's only a very slight delay, but it is a delay between taking the bottom camps, respawning for Jose, and the top camps.
Okay, APA asks if Jose is a fanboy. Jose responds a bit.
Yeah.
And then Yeon says he doesn't speak English. Grandpa Jose. All right, a little bit of, this is more the all chat banter.
Yeah, now we're getting a little into
that I was
it.
expecting from game number 1.
Very comfortable. Again, yeah, APA saw him with that Raptor ward, so he was also trying to use his time a little bit and then provoke him with the chat as well.
Yeah, we'll see how much of a distraction that ends up being throughout the game. Josedeodo clearing out his topside Scuttle Crab right now.
Yeah, it also is a reminder of game number 1 where Jose was a very successful fan of APA in the mid lane.
Oh, he was
with
the biggest
Lee Sin.
fan.
He was maybe too successful of a fan.
Yeah, he crashed the fan meet there for APA in the mid lane. He had a target on that Anivia's back all game long, and he just consistently hit the mark over and over. Not sure exactly what the pause is for right now. League officials are investigating. I will let y'all know as soon as we get an update as to what is going on, but I hope it is a fast one because, man, I really want to see where these junglers get involved, especially like what you were saying, Blaber having the opportunities to make these ganks on the Jarvan, one of the most effective early gankers in the jungle in League of Legends. I got to see where he goes because game number 1, his Nocturne, you had a couple of plays. You think of the reversal in the top side in the 2v2 where he comes in and saves Thanatos. They get the outplay there, but it definitely didn't have the same presence. It didn't have the same effect that you got to see from Jose's Lee.
And in this game, at the current pause, we have had the earlier recall for Blaber, so he's back out on the map already. You get a little time to work with between your first, clear and the respawn for the second clear. So we'll see where, what he does with it. But at the moment, we do have, I believe it was Yeon had his settings were reset in the game somehow, and so now he has to re-input his own personal settings. So yeah, definitely can be annoying just playing on default. Definitely don't. Got to get your comfortable settings that you've always been playing on.
Yeah, I believe producers said it was his mouse settings, and especially as an AD carry, if you're trying to kite throughout a fight, make sure that you're properly spacing your opponents and your mouse is flying around all over the screen at the wrong speed, not what you're used to playing all the time. That's a pretty serious problem. For somebody, if you're just kind of playing a meatball run at him champ, it's not that big of a deal. But, if you got to, hey, man, I'm saying this as somebody who always played meatball run at him champs. Like, I don't need to have this.
So you could play on default, you're saying?
Yeah, if I was on default, I'd be like, wow, that's weird. Anyway, click the
in a game that's going to qualify you for MSI.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, I've never played in one of those. Maybe if I was playing in one of those, yeah.
Maybe I want a couple changes.
Maybe I would want to adjust the slider somewhat. All right, we're back into game. Settings are fixed. Vulcan making a pass through the mid lane here. Eric, can Flowers speak Spanish?
I answer for you. You can. She's been on that Duolingo for years now.
Yeah, there we go. We're working on it. I'm not fluent, but I can make it happen.
There. Yeah, I mean, so this is pretty funny because both of our mid laners have just different ways of expressing themselves in games. Usually APA is on the keyboard typing, but Quid has his own thing where he does a lot of IRL emotes, which is equally as enjoyable for a lot of people. Or in chat, you can let us know which one's more enjoyable because Quid's always doing dances and emotes IRL versus the APA all chat, getting in there and getting some interesting conversations going, Flowers.
All righty. I hope we get a little bit more of them here. In terms of the results of our fan poll for who had the better draft, it looks like about 2/3 of our fans say that C9 came out on top in this one. So we'll get to see if they're right here. Because, win or lose, you can always just blame it on draft.
I mean, I love it because people also will always blame, why did you give X player their best champion? And you can say that for APA Ziggs. People do that all the time. Why did you give him Ziggs? That's going to be a free win. Or why did you give Quid Yone? So we have both in this game. And either way, you're going to be able to say afterwards, what in the heck? Quid got Yone, APA got Ziggs.
Other guy doing?
And currently, APA Ziggs is ahead with his gold. And remember, he did soak some enemy jungle time. And as well, they're going to be able to transfer this into the Dragon. Mid lane push, bot lane going to head over to.
Okay, C9 with control over the bottom side river. Very reminiscent of game number 1. Remember that first Drake in that one was secured with no contest from TL, who would then follow up taking the grubs later. So we'll keep an eye on Jose, see if that's the play he wants to go for here in a couple of minutes. But a nice early Drake for C9. they'll always be happy about that one, as Yeon is still just left in the bottom lane here to keep on farming. Quid making a rotation up towards the top side, though. They might be looking for a potential play onto Thanatos. He does have the ward in the Pixel Brush, though. Fires off the Electro Harpoons, keeps Josedeodo away from the last hit on the ward.
You're not going to make a play on Thanatos. He's going to make the play on you.
Just turns it right back around.
We're trying to gank the top laner. Oh, now you're going to lose your crab, buddy.
Yeah, Thanatos is chasing Jose all the way out. Blaber's coming up behind him. There's the equalizer into the bag. An Inferno Bomb. Flash don't matter. Jose's cooked. First blood over to C9.
You don't gank Thanatos. He ganks you.
Beautiful, man. Thanatos saw him in this Pixel Brush, walked him down all the way to kill him at mid-lane turret.
Get the hell out of my lane. You got to think twice before you gank him again now, Flowers.
Yeah, even Jose says, ouch. That's not a good experience there. The Trundle gets punished.
Yeah, really good from Thanatos to recognize he can just walk him down too. And now you got the flash off of Trundle. So we mentioned, oh yeah, it's really good for Trundle to be able to use move speed and like dodge a Jarvan EQ. Guess what? Blaber's the level up on you has Cataclysm as well, and you don't have flash. So he could trap you, Jarvan. And by the way, Jarvan doesn't have to stay in the Cataclysm. You know, he can trap the Trundle and then EQ out of it and leave you there burning to the assuming the Rumble is there. So there's definitely some options for them to play with. Cloud9 with a fairly healthy 1,000 gold lead in Dragon.
Yeah, C9 feeling good about things here. So far early, 45 seconds until those Void Grubs spawn. There are still the wards in the top river area from C9 that will be fading right around that time, though, as Thanatos maintains absolute control over the top lane, crashing the wave into the turret. It's the general pattern of play the tank into Rumble. Well, early on, you kind of just have to take the losing trades, play carefully, until you get Kaenic Rookern, and then you just don't care nearly as much.
Yeah, and it's kind of a similar quiet story for mid lane where APA Ziggs, like the Ziggs is always going to have this extra possibility of plays around mid lane, and we just saw it with the jungle being pushed towards mid. Guess what? APA Ziggs' ultimate damage was very meaningful in getting that kill, and he can do it from a very long range. Meanwhile, the Yone does have to really focus on the wave a lot, and we've got some support roam timers here to work with, but yeah, the Ziggs gets to push waves very quickly. You get to push a little first, you get a little bit of extra time, and you have a lot of range. Now, though, he has teleport, so Ziggs can teleport back if they want to contest this Grubs. They want to contest the Grubs.
Ooh, and Blaber wins the smite on the first Grub. Now Jose's got to try to get away, but the Cataclysm already comes down. There's the equalizer. Blaber flashes back out. Josedeodo kept safe there, at least for a little while, thanks to the Tempered Fate. And now it's Vulcan in the middle of everybody. A massive fate sealed! Quid just cut them to ribbons! Team Liquid with the major play from the mid lane.
They wanted to continue to punish the Trundle with no flash, just like we were looking for with the Cataclysm Flowers. But Blaber does use the EQ to get the distance, then goes for Cataclysm, has to flash out. In the end, we're going to look at bottom lane instead.
All right, Yeon trying to evade the curtain call here.
Wow.
Zven, ooh, he misses the fourth one. And the flash from Yeon to escape the dredge line means he lives to see another day.
But yeah, the fight on top side, they really want to punish Jose with no flash. Thankfully for Jose, CoreJJ is also there with the roam timer, and the Bard ultimate buys him so much time, as well as the magical journey, which he was able to use afterwards to survive and get out of there. So here's another look at it. Yeah, they think they've got him cooked, right? Okay, he's burning down in the Cataclysm. CoreJJ, though, buys him the time. It nullifies so much of that damage. You saw Ziggs, ultimate as well being used. And then Quid actually caught the Ziggs too. Ziggs was trying to use the jump to get away there, as well as burst down Jose. And Quid comes in. He's going to be the beneficiary. Gets a bunch of gold here onto the Yone. And we were warning.
You get it?
Nice.
That's the look on the face of a man who just made a three-man Yone ult. You can see the coaches behind the scenes for TL feeling the same way. What a massive turnaround.
Yeah, go look up Quid Yone LCS highlight, and it's actually one of our most famous plays that we have from him. So this champion and Quid, very dangerous combination. We'll see if Team Liquid can use that to their success later on in the game, but him getting at least one of the last hits there, as well as picking up a couple of the assists, and big play for him to wrap up 3.
Nice ult.
I mean, It was a good denial from CoreJJ. Like, CoreJJ had his back. If it wasn't for CoreJJ's Bard ultimate, then yeah, the Ziggs ult definitely would have roasted up Jose too. But that's the planning, you know. You trusted your teammates, and they knew that they had CoreJJ there on a timer as well. So good use of the Bard denial by Team Liquid. Cloud9 right back to objectives, though. Right back to business as usual for them.
They will take that second Drake. Again, no real contest coming from Team Liquid. Zven took a chunk, but that doesn't really matter a whole lot. We'll see if we get a fight for the Rift Herald here, but that's still 4 minutes away. Josedeodo completing the Trinity Force. And you touched on it a little bit, but yeah, Quid only got one of those 3 kills that they got in the fight. The other 2 actually went to Morgan, and Morgan now has the Kaenic Rookern fully completed. So accelerating that Ornn a little bit further ahead now makes it very, very different in his encounters with the Rumble, using that passive shield to ignore most of the damage in these shorter trades.
Yeah, super good breakpoint for him. Bot side.
Oh, here we go again. It's CoreJJ with a Tempered Fate right into the snap trap, but they don't have enough burst damage to finish him off just yet. Vulcan finally dies. Jose getting away. Subjugate keeping him healthy, and Blaber's in danger. Quid goes in after Zven, but he won't quite have the range to catch him. The Fate sealed. It won't matter though. That's still 2-0 TL, and C9 are again on the receiving end of the Team Liquid damage.
Yeah, Team Liquid, another good counter from them. They turn it around. They do invest in teleport, so Quid got down to the bottom side, opens up a turret plate here for APA and denying a tower, but he's going for another little chunk on to Zven. Zven still has double summoner spells, so he's not in threat of his life, but Quid was trying to force him to panic and burn at least one of those extra summoner spells while the tower plate is being taken. TL, though, another good little counter from them onto a Cloud9 play. They turn it around, they get some kills, and there you go. Talking about breakpoints, that Blade of the Ruined King done for Quid.
Full build Yone. He's got his upgraded Berserker Greaves with the quest. He's got his Doran's Helm. He's got his Blade. With the plays he's already been making,
Invade.
It's only going to get worse for C9 going up against this guy as Josedeodo takes the Blast Cone to get away. Vulcan and Thanatos trying to find something here in the Team Liquid jungle. CoreJJ trying to catch up. There's no Tempered Fate available on the Bard anymore, but Morgan is now ready to collapse as Vulcan and Thanatos still try to continue their way out. Dredgeline finds a Yordle snap trap. Vulcan takes a bit of damage from that. Thanatos got to be careful here. Morgan summons up the call, the Forge God. Thanatos with the flash away, makes sure that he can't be caught in the CC. But now Morgan goes forward, finds the knock-up, and Vulcan's going to be low yet again. He can't Spider-Man to safety. Tempered Fate cooldown comes up at the very end of the fight, but misses the target. It's still +1 TL.
What an extensive invade. We ended up with 10 people there at the top of the map at 13 minutes, Flowers. Everybody came to follow up on that Thanatos Vulcan invade that they got the Wolf, but now Thanatos might be the next target. Vulcan did drop in the last one. Thanatos had to flash, so this Rumble, no flash.
Oh boy, no flash, 1 versus 3. That traffic cone is the end of him.
That's a scuba. That's scuba.
Yeah,
IRL.
They're diving all the way under the turrets. All 3 of them go in. Thanatos' Rumble falls. This game that started off looking pretty nice for C9, now a 7-1 lead, 2,500 gold for TL.
Dude, Spawn is usually just so locked in the coach reactions.
Yeah.
You know, he is just banging the table, or he's like golf clapping, like, all right, good
like,
job.
all right, good hustle, guys, good hustle.
Good.
Yeah.
But he's in there with the scuba diving.
Oh, Quid forces the flash out of APA, and the Fate sealed does just that.
Perfection,
Wow.
Flowers, perfection. Able to use the E-snap back on the hook, too.
That was...
Can't keep track of him. He's going to get back to full health off the minion wave, too.
You couldn't really have played it better. I don't know what I could have asked him to do that he didn't do. He gets the kill. He gets away. He does it without needing assistance from anybody else. Quid is just monstrous here in this second game. 3-0-4, 7 out of 8 kill participation on this Yone. This is going to be a problem that I don't know if C9 has the arithmetic to solve. Rift Herald spawned now. That was my question before. Are we going to get a fight over this one? Considering Quid is already working on it and there's snap traps everywhere, I don't think C9 wants it.
I think, Flowers, now would be a good time for a Kia poll for chat.
Okay.
Who do you think is more dangerous? Quid on Yone or APA on Ziggs? We'll see what chat thinks. It's not a very fair time to run that poll.
I was going to say, running that poll at this time is like a breathalyzer, man. Are people watching?
Spawn is diving under the turret. Scuba tank ready. Okay, so we'll see, though. Maybe that's just an early possible comeback here. We've seen APA Ziggs hold off tremendous amounts of minions, so always good wave clear and good combos, but Team Liquid, they just have so much momentum in this series, it feels like, and already really snowballing the gold lead here again in this game number 2. Though Cloud9 do have 2 of the early dragons, and they're starting up another one, which they want to get here. Quid has teleport. He could join.
Yep, Team Liquid immediately tries to challenge. CoreJJ throwing out the Tempered Fate, but he only finds the dragon with it. No enemy champions. Josedeodo caught by the dredge line. Mega Inferno Bomb over the top, but not a whole ton of value. Core's the only one low. C9 on the retreat. Fate sealed. Once again, it catches APA. He tries to get out, but the call of the Forge God runs him over. APA is roadkilled, and he won't be the only one. Blaber dies next as Thanatos tries to fight his way out, but there's no way home. TL gets the Drake, they get 3 kills, and they are not finished. Zven tries to escape, but Yeon chases him down with a 90 caliber net. A little bit more damage. Yeon flashes forward here for the headshot. He's underneath the turret, but Morgan is tanking it for him. Team Liquid continues the chase. The shutdown back onto Yeon does happen, but Core also gets the chase kill onto Vulcan. Team Liquid, 17 minutes into the game, 7,000 gold ahead.
TL are feeling themselves, Flowers. They're flashing under tier 2 towers to go for dives after the objective. Here's another look at it where Quid just finished up on the tower on top side, and Yone does have the teleport to come to this fight. Here's an initiation, though. APA gets hit with the pillar just to slow down a little bit, and they're going to be looking at him. Look at Quid, though. This Yone, boom, E walks straight for him. The edge of the Yone ult clips him. They get the good chunk damage. Then also the Caitlyn ult damage, meaningful too. Get him a little lower, and Morgan was able to bowl him over. So Yeon, Quid, and Morgan all combine with ultimates to take down the Ziggs. And they're just having fun out there playing League of Legends and looking like perfect reaction.
That was an A+ fan cam, man. Now this is not an A+ position for C9. Blaber caught in his own jungle. The Rift is no longer safe, Kobe.
No.
If you're wearing a C9 jersey, you cannot walk outside of the base walls alone. You have got to be careful. Every single brush could have a Team Liquid gank waiting and ready to send.
Yeah, Cloud9 up against the walls already. We're only 18 minutes into this game this time. Last time it took a little bit longer, but Cloud9 already are feeling pressed. Secondary tower in mid lane was already taken. There are objective bounties on the Rift. You don't like to see that early in the game.
The yellow glow of shame around the turret.
Or could it be a little hope? Cloud9 hoping for a desperate comeback. Yeah.
Well, the problem about that twinkle of hope is now Morgan's going in after Thanatos. The Rumble that hasn't been able to find the success he needs so far this game. Morgan goes after him here for the killing spree. CoreJJ tries to escape for now. Blaber and Vulcan arrive, but Morgan is just so tanky he doesn't care. APA just threw the whole kitchen sink into the river trying to hold Yone away as Josedeodo makes his way into the retreat path of Cloud9. Quid's now joined, and that means there is no hope left here. C9 continue their retreat. Blaber gets followed through the magical journey, and CoreJJ finds another one. Double kill back over to the Bard, as Zven is the only man standing to bury the rest of his team.
It's a murder, Flowers. It is murder after murder out there. TL chasing them down, running them through their own base pre-20 minutes.
17-2. Team Liquid almost averaging a kill per minute in a professional game, in a series that will qualify you for MSI if you win it. These guys are locked in.
And this Team Liquid team was built to win, built for success, but Flowers, for most of this season, that is not exactly what they have gotten, not what they actually paid for. CoreJJ shouting out Cloud9 Classic here. They're always talking about beast modes, but Team Liquid, I don't think you're going to get any response to that because it's hard to all chat from the other side when you're down 10,000 gold. back to TL though, this team was built to win the entire league. It was built to qualify for international after international, and now they're built to destroy Blaber.
Yeah, Blaber's out of the picture, and I was pondering this a little bit, because game number one, you already said that one wasn't as one-sided as this one was as quickly, but in game number one, TL took the first Baron shortly before 22 minutes. Here in game number two, they're gonna shave 60 seconds off that time. That's a new PB, personal best. Team Liquid are all 5 persons are besting their counterparts here in this one. 4-0-12 on CoreJJ's Bard. I cannot ask for a better performance from a support.
And Morgan, Chris crushing it on this Ornn. I mean, 605 carry Ornn angle, Flowers.
Yeah, this is, I can't look at TL's performance this game and really find a whole lot to be upset about. As CoreJJ trying to get away through the wall here, opens up the magical journey, but he does get picked. Nice chain CC from Cloud9 to find the enemy support 3 seconds before the Drake spawns. Quid is still up in the top lane, does have his teleport, ready to join the rest of the team if need be. Here's that teleport coming in now, but it's going to be Morgan teleporting first to make sure he has the massive shield. Stepping forward, C9 grouped up as 5. TL even down a man, controlling the Dragon Pipper. Now Morgan with a massive 3-man knockup. Blaber's gonna die here at the very start of the fight as Josedeodo is taken low, flashing to the edge of the Mega Inferno Bomb. He still falls down. Thanatos dies next. Morgan zoning away too as APA tries to get away from Quid. But no, sir, it's the same story every single time this game as Morgan just menacingly lumbers towards them and guarantees C9 has to stay away. 4v5, and Team Liquid slam the fight.
Morgan's hacking, man. It looked like he got Malphite ult and Ornn ult on the same champion right there. He's able to get a 3-person E to start out the fight and then chase them down, push them out with his own real ulti. So here's it. He puts up his Q, that little pillar right there, and then he's looking at Cloud9 members all hugging around it. Boom, juicy 3-person E into Quid, going on to Blaber. They delete the enemy jungler. That was their first target, take out the smite. And then Morgan, you see on the top side, is forcing out the entire bottom lane of Cloud9. TL fans gotta be popping off.
These fan reactions have been incredible here in game number 2. 21-4 though, it's Team Liquid absolutely dominating in this second one. They've got the Baron for another 60 seconds. Quid is pushing up the top lane. Everybody else applying pressure to the tier 3 turret over in mid. C9 trying to draw their battle lines to defend, but this is just not an easy task. They're gonna need some kind of a miracle. They're going to need a Team Liquid blunder if we're being honest, because without one, TL are just way too far ahead.
They certainly are, Flowers. Rich as can be. They're inside the base, too. They've infiltrated.
I don't know if that was infiltration as much as it was just putting a battering ram to the door and saying knock, knock. Team Liquid gonna knock their way through the top lane now as well as Quid knocks down APA once more. Josedeodo kept alive, that tempered fate. CoreJJ has done so much on the Bard here in game number 2, and we might just see the end of the game way sooner than I thought when we started this second game. C9 trying to go for the 4v5 defense. Vulcan flashing forward, going in, trying to put the pressure onto Yone, but he cannot get it. Vulcan gonna die first. Morgan in the back line, make sure Thanatos dies second. Blaber and Zven fighting on the steps of their own fountain, but Team Liquid still have not lost a man. TL came to Arizona ready to qualify for MSI, ready to play in the finals tomorrow, and they are now 1 game away from getting it done.
Team Liquid are not playing around. They're not wasting any time in this series either, Flowers.